You may be wondering, how do I prepare my kid for kindergarten? Well, I'm Nicolene Peck and I teach about parenting, relationships, development, communication, and that's what we're going to be talking about in this video today. In this video, I'm going to share with you many things that you can do to prepare your child for kindergarten, and all of these things are going to go into two different categories. The first category that I would like to discuss is the relationship category. So your child is going to be developing new relationships as they meet with other students and teachers. And how do they prepare to have good relationships? And what happens with your child's relationship with you and with their siblings potentially? What about those family bonds? Do those change because a child is going to school? Well, they might. So do you want your relationship with your child to change? Maybe you do want your relationship to improve, but maybe you think, oh, I have this beautiful time that I've had with my child, just us. We've been learning and growing and exploring together, and I don't want that to end. Well, then you want to prepare for it not to end. Because you know what? Parents, you are always the primary teacher in your children's lives. You get the opportunity to show them what it means to be happy and to live with purpose. So they're going to be looking to you for that all the time. So we've got to maintain a really good bond. How do we maintain a good bond when our child starts to bond with a lot of other people too? Well, we establish that ahead of time and we prepare effectively. There are key things that you can do to bond with your child so that your child is ready to maintain that bond with you and to share that educational journey with you and the entire family. One of those things you can do is start having regular conversations with your child about their educational journey and about the things that make them happy with their friends and stuff. You do want to talk to them about their friends. You want to establish a habit of talking about friends with your children. If children develop the habit of talking to you about their friends when they're young, then they won't think that it's weird to talk to you about their friends when they're older too. They should be sharing with you and the family all of the things that they're learning, all of the exciting moments. So talk to them a lot, have a lot of discussion with them before they ever go to school. So let's start this laundry list of things that you need to do to develop good relationships before your child actually goes to school. So number one is have those meetings. In our family, we do them every Sunday afternoon. I start having meetings with my children when they're 2 years old. We draw pictures, we read them a story, we talk about what makes them happy, we plan daddy-daughter dates or mommy-son dates, and of course, mommy-daughter happens too, of course. Anyway, we plan these activities together where we're going to bond. We really put a big focus on our family culture and what type of culture we want to be. The other thing that we do to develop this relationship bond is we read to our children. From the time they're babies, we read to them. We sing to them. We spend time going over books with them that are even above their level. A 3-year-old can discuss a chapter book with you. You can read them a story that is far and above the picture book that they're able to maybe decipher a little bit on their own. Read them stuff, talk to them. So that brings me to another point, the discussion. If you want to have a good bond with your children and have good open communication for the future years and be involved in all of their educational journeys and experiences, then you've got to discuss things. Don't just discuss the chores they have to do and what we're having for dinner and when we get to watch TV and not. Discuss other things. Discuss why grandma does that thing that she does. Why does grandpa do that? And what about that person that we saw on the road that looked like they maybe didn't have a place to live tonight? Let's discuss that. Discuss as many things as you can with your children. Make sure that they have something to bring into that educational journey when they get there. Because when they get to kindergarten, they're going to start being exposed to lots of different people's lives. Their friends that they meet will have done many different things that they haven't done before, and their families will be different. But they need to be able to stand strong and say, well, this is my family way. This is what we do. This is the church that we go to, and this is why. They ask you so many questions when they're toddlers. Answer the questions. Why is the sky blue? Well, talk about the atmosphere and space and all the other reasons that the sky's blue if you know. Go look it up. Discuss it. Go to the library, find the books that will tell the answers to the questions. And when you are that source of information in your child's life, they will be bonded fast to you forever. One time when I was in a doctor's office, I read a magazine that made me kind of sad. And this magazine was about parenting, and it said, tell your child everything that you want them to know from you by the time they're 5, because after that, they all of a sudden don't think that you're the coolest person anymore. And I thought, wait a minute, what happens at 5? Why would a child ever have that happen to them? That they would decide that mom and dad weren't awesome people to listen to and to discuss with. Well, what must be happening is that parents are disengaging because the child is engaged in another culture, another atmosphere. But the parents need to always stay engaged. The parents should always be the coolest people that their children know. Why not? We don't have to sacrifice that for school. I'm just about ready to talk about our second category that we need to consider for preparing our children for kindergarten. But before I do that, subscribe to the channel. You are not going to want to miss all of the great parenting, family, and education advice that I give daily on this channel. Subscribe now. The second category of preparedness that we should be focusing on is really exciting. It's the skills category. So what skills do your children need to be successful in kindergarten? They are going to need to be able to sit in their seat, wait in a line. They're going to need to be able to follow the teacher's directions to do certain things. They're going to need to be able to do different assignments and stay focused for periods of time. So how do you prepare a child to do that? Well, one way that you do is also by reading to them. Your child's going to be learning to read anyway if they haven't already started doing that. So reading to your children on a regular basis, and when I say regular, I'm talking daily, either every morning, every night, every day before lunch, something like that. Read to your children. When you do that, your child is going to increase their attention span, which is going to help them with class time and being able to stay focused as they participate in those school activities. But another thing that would be super helpful is a skill called following instructions. So there's a little book I wrote years ago called London LaRae Says Okay. London LaRae Says Okay is part of a children's book set that I have that teaches skills for children. They are self-government skills, skills for self-mastery. And if a person learns these 4 basic skills, that takes care of 99% of their behavioral problems. In the book London LaRae Says Okay, little London, who's 6 years old, is pretty good at being happy all the time, but she has a hard time following through with what she is asked to do. So she has to learn the skill following instructions. There are 5 steps to the skill following instructions. London learns that she can look at the person, keep a calm face, voice, and body, say okay or ask to disagree appropriately, do the task immediately, and then check back. Your future kindergartner drastically needs this skill. They are going to be following instructions all day long. But that's not all. They're also going to have to accept no answers when they're not supposed to do something. They're going to have to learn how to problem solve with their friends, which means they could really use a skill called disagreeing appropriately. And if they happen to do something they shouldn't and the teacher needs to discipline in some way, then they will have to learn to accept consequences too. These 4 books teach the 4 basic skills. So we already talked about London LaRae Says Okay and following instructions, but there's also Porter Earns a Quarter. He's 4 years old and he learns to accept no answers and criticism. And then there's Big Win for Quinn, and he learns how to accept consequences. And then Paige Takes the Stage, which is this purple one, and she learns how to disagree appropriately. When a child learns these 4 basic skills, that will help them handle every environment that they need at kindergarten. So teaching those vital life skills is going to prepare them to be successful as they're problem solving, as they're communicating with each other, and as they're in their learning environment at school. But what other skills can we learn? For years, people have tried to make lists for kindergarten readiness, things that include learning how to write your own name, learning how to skip, And run, learning your colors, learning how to tie a shoe, learning how to introduce yourself to someone. There's so many different skills that someone needs to learn, from proper hygiene and dressing yourself to learning the skills they need to play on the playground with other people in safe ways. So just look at everything you do in your life right now with your young child that's preparing for kindergarten as a lesson. Turn everything into a lesson. Talk about what they're doing. Explore with your child. Did you know that when you're on that nature hike and you're teaching them how to be safe when they're climbing on the rocks with you, that exploring is actually teaching them how to play on the playground and not get hurt, how to keep themselves safe in many circumstances? Your exploring and playing with your child is going to teach them the skills that they need to master the environment of school. Now, what about those writing and reading things? Some people's children learn to read really early. My children were all reading when they were 3 years old, but their writing skills weren't up to that level. In fact, you need to know that writing oftentimes comes after the reading skill. So be very patient. If your child doesn't know how to write their name completely yet when they're going into kindergarten, you are not a failure. It is okay. But help them figure out something that to them is their name, because that will give them a little bit of confidence as they get those papers handed to them on a regular basis. I'm so excited for you and for your child who's going to be going to kindergarten. I hope something here I said helps. If you've liked this video, I'm pretty sure you'll enjoy the next video, which is called How to Know If You Have a Strong-Willed Child. Watch that video now. I'll see you there.